Alright, welcome to another Desktop Dungeons video. We're continuing with our Vicious Rainbows, and we'll do the final quote-unquote easy class in Demonic Library. And I think for this one, it makes a lot of sense to just go for... There are a lot of very good options actually. So I am tempted by a few different ones. But I think this is probably the best place to show kind of what Bloodmage does. I know we did this for a gimmick run on Naga City, but it will be going off something else. Okay, we're going to take Flame Magnet for simplicity. Now, ideally I'd have some kind of more caster-focused item, but I am almost tempted to just go for Dwarven Gauntlets. Yeah, I think that's a good choice. I'm going to take Smuggler Dan. I'm going to take Jehora. Okay, and I think I'm okay with keeping 2 of the basic potions and then just 2 of the better alternative options. Schadenfreude would also be good. And we're going to take Compression Seal because we're going with Jehora, and we're going to prep Apothecary. And finally the badge. More or less a very normal choice. Okay, so it's going to be a pretty standard piece of work for a casting class. As always, Jehora is to increase the stat pool that you're working from. This is doubly important with Bloodmage because Bloodmage has this tiny mana pool, but is often quite reliant on casting. However, Bloodmage also gets these big refills. Again, I'm deliberately taking a hit here so I can refresh my biceps cast. Right, and ideally we'd really want to get one... Okay, I've not currently got any resistances, so I'm going to... That. Again, this is just maximising party gain, which transforms Jehora from a decent god to an absolutely top tier one. Biceps is kind of worth keeping, but unfortunately we're a bit cramped on our inventory space. Having a little tiny thought, I might actually just drop the bonus damage straight away. It's a bit strange, but I think potentially we'll be doing very well if we can just get a normal run going. Yeah, I'm just making sure I've not got any cursors. Again, this is all about just maximising our party gain so we can get as quickly as feasible really to that all-important combination of petition. You see here we've got poison, so we can't keep doing that. But we want to get to petition, we want to get to at least 1 health boost, and ideally at least 1 mana boost as well. And then look at whatever the most practical way is to get up to level 2. Okay, Armor Wall is a decent glyph. We can leave this stuff on the ground really if we don't want it immediately. In a normal dungeon I've attempted to swap out. Okay, we've got to petition with no mana burn, which is always great. In a normal run I might swap out Waitwork for Wannify, but I've got the limited inventory size anyway, and in addition to that, this is Demonic Library, so it's worth having that ability to put avatar next to the ladder. Okay. And as always with Jehora, your basic aim is to just get yourself that first health boost, especially because you restore all that health when you level up. And then after that, oops, to it would be nice to get the mana boost, but it's not essential. You can always get that later on if we want it. In particular, as with Bloodmage, increasing our health also increases our potential fireball output. So that's also a consideration. Right, so my slight issue here is that I really don't have any quality kind of leverage for even getting same level kills. So I'm probably just going to keep boosting up. I don't mind too much if I explore most of the dungeon. Again, it's not a huge concern. Okay, it would be really nice to be able to grab that and depoison. And yeah, sometimes with Jehora, the counterpoint of having this incredibly strong early game is that sometimes you do need to just make a practical decision and say, you know, I'm going to drop this item I want or whatever else and just go for the easy things. Doom armors are good to break because they're slightly awkward as popcorn. Steel golems are also a choice potentially, but I do want to only if I'm killing level 1s in general, I would like to make sure I'm at least getting the bonus experience for it. Okay, also now I've healed, I could have been a bit smarter and just said I'm going to target high level monsters. So let's think, we've got 5. So Blood of Power is very effective at level 1. It is quite tile intensive, but as you can see we've been a bit frivolous with our tiles anyway. Now ideally I'd be able to hit someone to start, but I think we might have to just this. Okay. This is very wasteful and I just got confused, so apologies for that. But anyway, should show that Bloodmage, you know, it's often quite expensive for Bloodmage compared to other good classes, but you can get some really decent kills very early on. And then, you know, with the Jehora bonuses, with all these free goodies, we're not really facing a lot of challenges here. Okay, will do. And yeah, one of the reasons I'm recommending Bloodmage for this dungeon is just there are a lot of very good targets for him. So things like steel golems, you know, Bloodmage normally not very worried about resists, and also tends to can really pick and choose which kind of damage you're applying. Okay. Again, we can see the health boost. Just goes hand in hand with the mana boost, really. And works very well with our blood power glyph. Okay, once again, we're going to break death protections while we're doing things. And we're also going to bowl up some popcorn for the future. Okay, the cultists are also things you want to make sure you're popping. And let's just go for the... We can go for the third mana boon, or we can go for a second health boon. Both I think are very, very valid on Bloodmage. Okay, now ideally we want to be looking at starting fighting sort of the bosses next level. So maybe this Jin is a option. I mean, again, we can go for some of this other stuff, but we do want to leave some black space. We are going to be using it dealing with the bosses. Jade Tooth again, you know, what a great sub-dungeon to have. And again, I'm just being a tiny bit wasteful here, but I don't think this is the kind of... with a strong class with Jehora, you really have a... you know, things that are going to limit your runs are continuing to sort of be too greedy, making bad practical decisions, rather than not optimizing every last little possibility. So again, we can put ourselves down to pretty low black space before we start getting concerned. And again, these are another great enemy type for Bloodmage, because you can just avoid the weakening, the retaliation and everything. Okay, so we're on the verge of the next level. Lance Dagger is always nice. So we're going to max up our thing, and then pick something to start working on. So, physical resist guy, maybe? You see, one of the reasons we prepared smugglers is just to get a little more black space for this. No, I'm just trying to use up my last bit of health before I level up. Again, being Demonic Library, we're going to get to a very high level, so I don't think we're going to have a ton of problems dealing with Jade Tooth later. Okay, there we go. So our first Demon Lord kill. Now, Mana Burn guy would probably be a good one to get rid of. And yeah, we're now at the point where probably we do want to try and use some of our health more productively, because we're going to use those last tiles when we're at a higher level, so our fireballs deal a bit more damage. Okay, actually looking over the gods, we've got Tiki Tuki as a potential convert out option, but usually in Demonic Library I'm pretty happy to stay in Bin Law, unless there's a very specific reason not to. Thing to note with Tiki is you want to kill the highest level monsters first, because you can get a per monster experience buff with learning. Okay, and again, we're being very resource hungry right now. But essentially, this character is just going to build up and build up. One more. Okay, boom. Okay, so Jade Tooth we really need to deal with somehow, but we have plenty of options later. Alright, so with Bloodmage, one of the main features is that as you drink mana potions, your sanguine, which is already pretty decent, goes up. Again, you want to generally follow this pattern where you're getting your level as high as possible first, then you're drinking all your potions to fireball everything, then you use all your blood pools, and every blood pool becomes a health potion, which is very effective in most scenarios, even very, very challenging or long ones. Now, this is a moment of slight tension. One of the things that we were sort of unlucky with this one is we've not got any access to this sub-dungeon. Which obviously would be a very nice thing for especially Bloodmage, just because you can use your I'm just going to do this, I'm do a no tile of one of these. So yeah, with Bloodmage having more sub-dungeons normally means more black space, and more black space means more use of blood to power early in the game. Okay. Again, we are using our level ups very freely here. This is generally good to do on Demonic Library anyway, so it's not worth worrying too much about trying to conserve, you know, all of your apologies, possible resources. Okay, I'm going to try and take our hits from Pavilion Zay, I guess, just to minimise the amount of... basically we want to take our corrosion earlier in order to make it, how to put it, in order to clear it off with Chaos Avatar. Okay, and it's about time we start using some mana potions. It's not that. As you'll see, Sanguine will just be quietly stacking up in the background. Now, ideally, I would be targeting getting 80 piety, and if I had the inventory space to do that, that would be ideal. I think that means I'm going to convert blood to power, pick up Agnostic Scholar, and desecrate Glowing Guardian, which is satisfying for a number of reasons. Then we're going to go into Chaos Avatar. So, if we can... I don't know if I'm being a bit frivolous if I'm trying to gamble on picking up what's the word? Gamble on getting the Wayward through on this guy. Obviously it would be ideal to not take any more hits from him, but I don't think it should be such a big concern that we're doing it like this. Okay, this guy's slowed, so we can ignore the Retaliate Fireball. Okay, Sanguine stacked up to 28 now. And again, we're just using our burning pops to avoid taking more hits. Okay, again, we really want to maximise what we're doing with our mana potions first. To the extent we can even do stuff like this. And repeatedly slow the guy in order to do more fireballs. This is also a thing you can do with Earth Mother, is you can use the entanglement boon to repeatedly get off retaliation-free fireballs. Okay, it's got 2 death protections, so I'm just going to use a little bit of my health to clear these off. Okay, and if we've got any kind of popcorn here, this guy, got, and that's the avatar unlocked. Okay, so our main thing here is we want to swap the guy over to here, first try, which is very lucky because he's got a lot of magic resistance. Then we're going to use the black space that we've got get up to a good position. I'm going to try and set up for a level up. Again, we can get cut off from that black space as well, so it's not worth saving it too hard. Okay, exactly in place for it. Important thing to note is we've got more than 150 hit points. Avatar deals 75 damage, but he gets berserk. So if you've got 150, then you can take hits from him, or 151. You can take hits from him even once he goes to berserk form. Okay, let's hit the guy. And I'll be honest, I haven't done the maths here on whether Help Me or Fireball is better. But either way, I think we should be at the point of narrowly regen fighting. Okay, just going to break protection there. And go to our sub-dungeon. Got that. Okay, again we're going to fight Avatar standing on the stairs, like you've probably seen in the previous video. And this way we can't get cut off. Okay, I'm just going to use the Jade Tooth potion, if I can find it. Again, you'll see the blood pools are really starting to stack up now. So a health potion in normal situations heals 40% of your health. We are currently on 34% sanguine, and we can really stack that up even further if we want to. So this is what we're going to do. Again, with Avatar, it's really the only problem we've got in the dungeon. Okay, we're on 36. Now, if I can, probably shouldn't convert this, but I think it's it would be nice to get to the mana and health potions. The blood pools are health potions level. Okay, we're going to do convert some more stuff. And yeah, this is ghastly for us. We can see we've got a sanguine up to 40 now, and each of these blood pools is exactly as good as a health potion, which again, this doesn't necessarily look like much, but this is like, from a resources left over, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I think this is effectively the equivalent of having like 15 health potions left over. So that's the Bloodmage run, and it's a very nice easy run on Demonic Library if you just want to get the 3 wins. And particularly with Jehora, that gives you you know, a very reliable, very consistent way to get through the dungeon. The main risk point with that is if you don't get Fireball early enough, it can really hurt that plan to get started on the Demon Lords early. And therefore I like the preparing Fireball Magnet with Bloodmage. Again, there are other Bloodmage options, but Gnome works really well for them. It just gives you that combination of high magic spiking in the top side, which is what you want, coupled with solid huge resources for the bottom side. Okay, so that's a nice third little dungeon for third run for Demonic Library. We've unlocked the Rat Monarch, which is my favourite class in the game. They have come to enjoy our Zeppelin. Alright, fantastic, and we have the codex with the goats already. So that's Demonic Library done. Again, we'll return to these dungeons that we've done to do the full rainbows at some point, but for now I just want to show the unlocks. Our first things will be going on to Vicious Steel, I think, for the final class unlock. Might move to Namtar's Lair, just show a few runs on that, if I can remember how to do it. And then we'll probably get on with the rainbowing. Right, thank you for watching.